So today in Going Full Villain, we're going full Sukuna from Jujutsu Kaisen. Let's jump into this monster and how we might use him in a tabletop RPG. And just a forewarning, I'm mainly going to be talking about how he's been presented in the anime so far. I don't want to jump into manga spoilers too much for people who might be watching the anime. I think it goes without saying that Sukuna would absolutely be a late game BBEG / villain. He definitely has the power to be a late tier 3 or tier 4 bad guy for a tabletop RPG or D&D campaign. Sukuna could absolutely be the demon lord or devil that was defeated hundreds if not thousands of years ago, and you could set him up for his return at the end of your campaign. If one of your players is up for it, they could absolutely be possessed by Sukuna or your Sukuna-inspired enemy. Much like a devil in D&D and other tabletop RPGs, if Sukuna presents you a deal, he must abide by the rules that are presented at that time. And if you're presenting a narrative with Sukuna naturally getting stronger, you could either present a time limit, or you could use the consuming fingers from the anime and manga. If you go the consuming fingers route, I definitely wouldn't try and do it in a way that takes away player agency. I would maybe try and give the player something that has Sukuna inside of them, a benefit for doing such. And now that we've talked about that, let's get into his power set. The two main things that Sukuna has shown in the anime thus far is his cleave ability and his domain expansion. First off with Cleave, Cleave is a melee spell attack that is going to do slashing damage. And more than likely, Sukuna is going to be hitting you with Cleave probably 2 to 3 times if he's a tier 3 to tier 4 boss. And moving into Sukuna's domain expansion, Malevolent Shrine is where things start to get really dicey for the players. Malevolent Shrine is going to be an action recharge ability, and it's only going to recharge on a 6. Now, Malevolent Shrine Domain Expansion is probably going to last 1d4 turns in terms for D&D 5e rules, but it's going to be a 200 meter wide area that the players are essentially going to have to try and run from. Because while the domain is active, Sukuna is going to have advantage to hit you from any distance within that 200 meters with his cleave attack. And Sukuna is going to be able to use legendary actions to do additional cleaves after his turn is done. Additionally, if you wanted to use Malevolent Shrine to get rid of inanimate objects, you could have a high-level Cloud of Daggers doing damage to inanimate objects within the domain expansion as well. And this could ultimately change the terrain, destroy vehicles, and totally dismantle footholds that players are going to be standing on. And lastly, if you wanted to include his fire arrow that he does in the anime and manga as well, I would honestly just do a high-level Melf's acid arrow, but do it as a fire variant. And I would maybe let him use this like 3 times a day. If you wanted to do a variant of Sukuna that has regeneration, you can also do that as like a legendary action. And if you want to do the forearm version of him from the manga, I would probably just give him additional attacks. And that will be all for this episode of Going Full Villain. If you want to see more content like this, make sure to hit that like and subscribe. Let me know what villain you'd like to see next. I'm Winter Blaze, and I'll see you next time.